Did you guys have an aunt who would take time out of her busy life with her husband and her kids to stalk you guys, to see what is happening in your life? Because same. This is a story about how I walked the ramp for the very first time, wearing shorts for the very first time, and I triggered my entire family because this aunt of mine decided to stalk me, to see what I'm doing, hunt me down, find pictures, and then send it to everyone. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I really have not done story times before. I don't have a lot of stories to share, but I do have a few, and this one is one of my favorite ones, so I'm gonna go with it. So now you know what we're gonna be talking about. Let's dive in. Oh, it's also Eid night. Look at my mehendi, it looks very pretty. The life that I'm living right now, you guys, I did not think I would be living this life. Getting out of my village is not something any of my girls have dreamt of. Like, basically, that is not something in our books. We were never taught about that. If we got any education, we should be happy about it. We're like, okay, you study as much as you can. You study with whatever extent or degree you could. And then we find a husband. Firstly, it was hard for me to convince my parents to send me to Bangalore. They were like, just take zoology or botany somewhere here, study, we'll find you a man, get married. And I did not want that. Majority of the girls around me did that, but what option did they have? That's what they saw everywhere. That's what they did. So they thought like that's what it is. But for me, I was like, bro, no. I cannot imagine myself getting married to a person I do not know and having a family that I do not want and bearing kids without my consent. So my family was completely against me studying outside of Coorg. I was like, all right, let's do this. You're not at a place where you can financially fund me to take care of my education as well as my hostel and everything. So let me take a loan. So I took a loan, which again had its own drama. Somehow convinced my father to like sign these papers. The only time my dad ever came to Bangalore was to drop me to college. And then for next good 7 years, they never came to Bangalore at all. I figured everything out. I was working. I was just doing everything, right? There's one thing though. I was never a confident girl. I did not like how I looked. I hated my skin color. I hated my smile. I hated everything about me because I was constantly compared with everybody else out there who were fairer, who were prettier, who had like everything sorted and figured out for them. But it was not the case for me. Like my confidence that you see right now, if you saw Rida back in the days, you'd just be like, who is she? That's what I was. I had like zero confidence, but coming to Bangalore kind of changed that. Maybe the new atmosphere, people around, everything was just very different. And I really enjoyed this version of me. I used to get a lot of compliments on my skin tone and I had never gotten any compliments when I was back in my village. So it kind of gave me the confidence that, okay, maybe this is okay, you know? It is not as bad as I thought it in my head. My cousins used to give me their clothes, so I used to like style it and figure things out here and there, dress accordingly and go. Like I enjoyed going to college, but also back in the village, we were not allowed to wear a lot of things. And I was someone who was forced into wearing outfits that my family wanted and not something that I wanted. Here, I got a chance to experiment with my outfits, to experiment with my makeups and my look, my hair. Like I still had like a puffy bun sort of situation, but I did love it because I was free, you know? I felt like I am free. I'm not saying that I was extremely tall, but I was one of the tallest girls. I remember just walking and this is one girl who runs to me and she goes like, hey, what's your name? And I'm like, my name is this. Which department are you from? I go, I'm from BSc Biotechnology and Genetics. And she goes, we have a fashion show that's coming up and we have a few designs and we're looking for models. Do you want to be one of them? And I was like, I have never modeled before. I have never walked a ramp. I don't know what this is and how it's going to be. So I'm not really sure. And she goes like, don't worry about it. We'll teach you. We'll figure it out. You just have to say yes. And I was like, you know what? Firstly, it took me a lot for me to be here. And I promised myself that no matter what, I'm not going to deprive myself of opportunities. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to give it a try. So whatever's going to come my way, I'm going to say yes. I said yes. Was I nervous? I was hella nervous. Did I have shoes, heels, stilettos? I had nothing. Like, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot and we'll go for it. So we had like practice sessions. We used to go every evening after our classes ended. We just go there, walk ramps, do the whole formation. How are you walking in? When are you walking in? How are you posing? At what time are you staying in? What is the song? Every single thing, okay? Am I excited? I am excited, but I didn't know what I was wearing. I had no idea about what my outfit was. And one of the things that is taught to you as a model is you literally are there to represent the outfit. It doesn't matter what you're put in. You just have to shut up and walk. So every time there are people like, oh, we didn't know. If you're a model and if you're walking, you don't have a say in what you're going to wear. Whatever they put you on is what you wear. Your job is to like walk, or your job is to like shoot and just make it look as amazing as it can be. And then came the outfit reveal. It was literally on the days when they were like, you're going to be wearing this and this. So it was a kalamkari full sleeve top, which was completely covered. And then it was, I forgot what it's called. It was shorts, okay? But you also have those straps coming across. It was short. And then I had a full sleeve top. Me in shorts in front of all of these people walking on the ramp. I have never worn shorts before. I wanted to, but I was not allowed to wear shorts before. I was nervous. I was scared. But in the meantime, I was like, oh my God, should I do this? Should I not do this? And I was like, I don't think I can do this. I don't want to wear shorts. I don't want to. They were like, oh my God, Radha, we thought you were okay with it. We're so sorry. We don't have any other outfits. And we've designed and stitched according to your size. So anything else will not fit you. And I was like, oh my God, like I can't back out right now because I promised that I'm going to walk for them. And it's just not nice because they did not find any other model last minute. And I was like, you know what? I promise that I'll do this. It was my job to ask you in the first place that, hey, what is the outfit like? If I did get to know what it was, I could have like walked out before. But now that I've committed to this, I've practiced, I know my walk, I'm just gonna do this. Now, coming to my Instagram. I was not very active on Instagram at that point of time. In the meantime, I also had blocked everybody both on Instagram and Facebook. Every other relative I knew, every other person from the village I knew, everybody was blocked. Not because I had something to share or not, but I just didn't want these people in my life at all. Like, I wanted zero involvement. So now you know that I walked the ramp. Everybody said it was amazing. Or was it? I don't know. It was nice, but I had fun. I felt confident. I felt really nice. And I was like, oh my God, I enjoyed doing this. After a few days, I got the pictures. It was like professionally shot pictures. Oh my God, you're gonna stay in my gallery for the rest of your life because there is no way you're gonna see the light. I could not post this on Instagram. I could not post this on Facebook. I could not post it as an Instagram DP. I could not post this anywhere. Like, I think DP I could because I could zoom in and it was like a full sleeve, so that was fine. Nobody knew what was beneath. I did not post it anywhere. However, my college did. The main page of my college account had these ramp pictures out, and I never knew that they were out because, again, I was not following the college, and I was like, why would you want to just go ahead and post all of these things? Now, guess who finds these pictures? My aunt's neighbor, who has 2 daughters, who are literally allowed to do everything and anything. They get to wear what they want. They can go wherever they like. They had the time to learn how to drive, how to swim, and how to do everything. Like, these girls had everything. Were actively spying on what I was doing because they were also studying in Coorg. They did not go to Bangalore. I don't know if that's what triggered them to go looking for what I was doing. I have no idea. One of this girl who I have no idea who she is. I didn't know her name. We never spoke. She never spoke to me. She was always this, I don't want to speak to you, don't speak to me sort of vibe. This woman goes hunting and stalking me down, finds these pictures, but does not really like share it, but like points it out to my aunt saying, oh, by the way, what is Radha doing? And she's like, yeah, she's in Bangalore and everything. Like, did they allow? Because during the time I was figuring out ways to come to Bangalore, both my dad's and my mom's side constantly kept coming home to tell my parents to not let me go to Bangalore. They were like, don't let her, she's going to be ruined, that this is going to be the disappointment of the family. She already does not listen to people. She already gives it back. You like, is this what you want to do? Like, get her married, find a man, you'll find somebody. This was in my house constantly, and I was what, 16? I didn't even have anything. This is all I could hear 24/7. And this babe, I think at that time was 14. Like, that's all your age. Why are you interested in what I'm doing? You're living your life. Why do you care? So she goes on to hint my aunt, saying that what is she doing and everything. You might want to look into it. Is she allowed to like wear whatever she wants? Like, I thought you guys don't allow your girls to wear whatever they want to. And it, like, she like drops these hints, okay? And she goes like, you might want to like check the page out. And she goes like, what page? Check the college page out. As I said, I had blocked everyone, so nobody really knew what I was doing or my activity status for that matter. My aunt definitely looked up at the college page, saved those images. First thing, sent it to my mother, then goes on to send it to all of my relatives on the group chat, personally, everything. To my mom, she literally was like, look what she's doing. And to everybody else, I told you so. And did it end well for me? What do you guys think? To my parents who did not want me to go to Bangalore, who completely were against it, gets pictures of me in shorts that they have never allowed or let me even think and dream of. Do you think they'll let me go? they did not. However, my aunt's daughter is a very sweet girl and she's one of my favorite cousins. So what she did is when all of this was happening, she had quickly called up my sisters and had told like, hey, this is what's happening. My mother has secured a few pictures of Titu. They call me Titu. So Titu Didi, you might want to like figure something out. So my girls call me up immediately and they're like, hey, this is what has happened. They have gotten your pictures and they might call you in the evening. Mom is waiting for dad to come and then call you together. So just giving you a heads up. I was like, what do I do? Like, what do I really do? There's nothing that I can possibly do in this situation. It's evening at around 7:30ish or so. My parents call me. They're yelling, they're angry, they're disappointed, and they're just shouting, okay? And they're like, we got this, we got. I'm like, what? What did you get? Like, can we like calm down and have this conversation? Because I realized that if I shout and scream as well, this is not gonna go well. So I let them scream and shout to whatever extent that they can. And finally they are like, this. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm confused. I don't know what you're saying. I'm here studying. Like, I don't understand it. See, there's two things that I could do. Either I could say, yes, I'm sorry, I won't do it ever again. And second, I want to say that it was not me. I chose the second option. I think it's also because the way my parents were screaming and yelling at me and also just saying that you were that, we knew it, you were a disappointment, and they were like telling very, very mean things. I think I kind of took it to my ego saying that no matter what happens, I will not agree and accept and apologize. I would rather lie saying that it was not me, but I'm not accepting or agreeing to it. So I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. So they say, open your WhatsApp. They send me the picture on WhatsApp. What do you see? I was like, I see a girl. Okay. And then what else do you see? She's wearing shorts and a nice top. And they're like, and who is that girl? I said, the face looks like mine. And they're like, okay, and is that not you? I'm like, that's not me. They're like, what do you mean? That's you. I'm like, no, that's not me. Rida, are you like lying? That's literally you. And I'm like, I am telling you for the third time, that is not me. They were like frozen for a second, okay? And I was also frozen for a second because obviously this is all happening on a voice call because the internet at that time was like shitty. Right now we have Wi-Fi, but at that time it was not. So they could not video call me to see what my face was. I am sweating here. I am like literally, my tears are rolling down, but I'm like, I am not gonna cry. I'm not gonna yell. I'm not gonna let this go because if I go on and say, okay, fine, whatever, they're gonna hold on to this. They'll not let Huda and Zoya come out of that place. They'll be like, this is what your sister did. We're not gonna let you go and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, because of me, I can't let this affect my sisters in any way. I'll be like mindful and careful after this, but I cannot let this one go. So they're like, I can't believe you're just like doing this. It's like for the 100th time, that is not me. This might have been photoshopped or this might have been out there. I don't know. Then they're like, okay, if they have to Photoshop, they still need your face, right? It's like, see, okay, I understand that they might have gotten my face from somewhere, maybe Facebook or something, and I'll make sure that I'm not posting anything. But come on, that is not me. And I'm going to say this again, it's not me. Obviously, because you're like not agreeing and accepting to it and you're constantly saying that it's not you, what else can you do? Like if I confront a person that they have done something and they constantly keep saying no, 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 at one point you're just going to be like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't want to talk to you. I don't care about this. They are mad. Calling them after this is not a smart idea. I did let it sink in for some time, give them space and then like call and check up on them. I can't go home right now. I took a break of good 3 to 4 months and maybe on the 5th month is when I decided, let me go home. Everything was like kind of settled down. My parents just spoke to me and then I was like, you know what? I don't know why it happened, but I'll make sure that it doesn't happen again. Conversation with them, I handled that somehow. But I was super mad at this woman. There was no good intention coming out of this because if you really did care about me, if you really did care about anything, you would have reached out to me first. We could have had this conversation first and then we could have figured out a way like, okay, I will not do this. Can you not show it to my parents? This is something that have happened. We could have figured it out. You literally wanted to teach me a lesson. You wanted to tell my parents that, oh, you know what your daughter's doing. She's doing whatever, yada, yada. And that is what like really hurt me. So it was again at around, I think evening around 4, 5-ish or something like that. And I was like, Mom, I need to go down. My aunt lives in the same village all the way down and our house like starts first followed by 2 more aunts. There's also another aunt who did something last year. I'll speak about it in the next video if you guys want it. I go to her house and she's outside. I was like, Assalamu alaikum. She goes like, Walaikum assalam. How are you? She's like, I'm fine. How are you? You can see it on her face that, why is she coming and talking to me? Because I'm pretty sure she knows what has happened. And if that's the case, is she okay talking to me? So she does know this, that I know this. Then she's like, why don't you come home? I was like, oh, yeah, I would love to come home. So I go home. She's like, what do you want to drink? So at that time, I used to drink coffee. I would like a coffee. So she goes to make coffee for me and I wait for her to come out. And while she comes out, I have laid down all my bills. Like my college and my hostel was taken care by my loans. I had like kept my mess fees, my stationery items, my records, my pen, pencil, my books, everything that I needed on a day-to-day basis, as well as money that I'd spent to buy things for my college, because I was financially cut entirely. So I was working to save all of that money to make. So I had kept all of these receipts to just count on where my money is going, where it's coming, how much I have, how much I'm spending, and all of that sort. So she comes out and everything is laid down on the table and she's like, "What is this?" I said, "These are my bills." She's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "These are the bills that I have paid for my college fees and a lot of more that needs to come after that. However, you can like have a look at it." She's like, "Why should I look at it?" Like, I mean, you look at every single thing and you're like very curious about my life. You might as well look at this as well. I don't understand. I was like, see, if you are someone who's so curious about what I'm doing, what I'm wearing, where I'm going, what I'm eating, who I'm sitting with, you might as well pay my bills. These are my bills. On a day-to-day basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, you decide how you want to pay it. Do you want to pay through cash? Do you want to do a check, or do you want to do a Google Pay, or whatever that is? But if you really want to have a say in my life, if you really want to be the spy who's like coming and looking into what I'm doing and wants to be this villain who's going on and like spreading information about it, you might as well start paying my bills. You pay my bills, you get the rights to do these things. She was taken aback, obviously. And she took like, I think, a good 1 to 2 minutes to know what had happened. I was shivering, obviously. It was not very easy for me to have this conversation because I was not established at that time. I was not making a lot of money at that time, because if my mother had gotten to know, she would have killed me. But I'd still made a move like, I need to make this a point, because I can't have this person doing this to me over and over again. And I cannot be someone who's scared of this. Like if I don't approach, she'll just be like, oh, I'm going to just do this to her over and over again. But if I do approach, she does know that I'm not going to let this go. She's like, how can you talk to me like this? Like, I'm talking to you out of respect. You're somebody who crossed a line. I was not okay with this. My relationship with my parents is not that great anyway, and you ruined it even more. My life has not been easy, and especially, let's do this. You go ahead and talk whatever you want to, with whoever you like, in however way possible. Pay my bills. At least this way, I'm taken care of. So I will not be worrying about, oh my God, where do I get my money? How do I pay my mess fee and all of that? At least this is taken care of. Then I can go ahead and concentrate on what you're doing. I can't be worrying about my finances and also worry about what you're doing and everything together, right? Let's make it easy for each other. No, I did not do that because of that. I cared for you. Like, stop. Let's stop this whole idea of I cared for you, I like you, you're like my daughter. No, you don't care for me. You don't consider me as your daughter. You literally wanted to prove a point that, oh my God, look what she's doing, and like make a clownery out of this. And I'm okay with that, whatever. Because if your values are different from my values, I am not changing that, and you don't have to change that either. But if you're interfering in my life, you might as well pay my bills. She obviously was not very happy. And I was like, let's just do this very clearly. You do not want someone like me in the family or something like that. You have 2 kids. Make sure that they are not becoming like me, or they don't have any influence like me, which by the way did not go very well. Take care of that. Make sure that, tell them that this is not what you want them to become, or this is not what it is, but please stay away from my life. I think I did not speak to her for a very long time after that, and she did not speak to me either. But that particular move that I made a very strong stance, letting her know that if you're going to interfere in my life, I am literally going to come and question you why, and you don't have the rights to do so. Mind your business. You don't like me, don't talk to me. But I am not going to sit quiet and let you do whatever you want to do just because you can do it. Concern and all is cute, but concern where you're just like going ahead and gossiping, that is not nice. That feels like bullying, where you know that you're on a high horse, where you're controlling me when I already have so much shit going on. I'm not gonna let you do this. My concept was very simple. If you really cared for me, you would have spoken to me first, instead of going ahead and exposing me to everyone. You wanted a drama, you were looking for it because you enjoyed every bit of hindrance that it caused me. Like my entire teen was so hard until at least 22, because these people monitored every single move I made, not in like a good sense. Constantly just wanted to keep bitching about me, saying hurtful things about me. Like sometimes when I go on the internet and I see all of these gossips about me and everything, and I was like, maybe thanks to my family that they have done and spoken shit about me so much and have constantly not supported me ever, that all of this does not affect me anymore. I think the day I wore shorts is also the day I grew a spine. I mean, definitely I'm somebody who always stood up for myself, and I firmly have believed nobody's going to do it for me, and I don't care, and I've never expected it as well. I'll stand up for myself. Whoever has to believe, they'll believe. Whoever does not have to. Long run, a lot of these people, they don't come with concern. They come with drama, they come with gossip. gossip, and it's just not nice. What I've realized, especially with my family, is every time I've heard something that they've spoken shit about me, I've always gone ahead and asked, hey, I've heard this that you've spoken about me. Can we have a conversation about that? I want to know why you said that. I want to know where you heard it from. Do you believe it? Why are you going ahead and spreading all of these information to a point where my relatives do not talk anything about me anymore? You have an issue, come and speak to me. Let's have a conversation, because we are not perfect, right? You do mistakes, I do mistakes. Your values are different, my values are different. When it does not align, obviously we do have issues with it. But you going ahead and talking shit about me behind me to other people, while you're also like, oh my god, I'm your aunt, I'm so nice, let me just take care. No, it doesn't happen like that. As of now, with this aunt, we did speak after that. She did apologize. It took a lot of months. However, we had a conversation, and I think one of the things that we really said was like, hey, I understand where you come from and the values we've grown up in, and I'm sorry that did not really align with the same thing, but I hope that's okay. Again, a very close relative of mine happened to do something similar, but in like extreme situation, and this aunt was like, don't do it. Stay away from her. Not someone who's gonna let it go. She's gonna come and ruin your life. If that's something that she can, just let it go. I mean, I don't ruin anybody's life, but I do and will come and confront you and let you know that, hey, I know what you've been doing. I know what you've been saying. Let's just not be in touch, or let's just not talk. I think with this story, you do know that I'm not really my relative's favorite. That's it. This was one of my story times. Let me know how you liked it, and if there's something else that you would like to know. Until then, sayonara. This is me, Radha Tharana, signing off. Love you.